All right, let's look at the second one. Construct renewed hope city and estates across the nation zones. And my question is, how will the government ensure the affordability of housing in the renewed hope estates? How are they going to go about this? This is one of the things that the president said. Like I said, of course, you are aware of the address. So we have talked about the first one, and that didn't go down well with you. We have another one here. Do you think it's doing, at least we are actually going somewhere?
See, we are not ready as a people to build a nation. When we tell this story just tell to children. Is it hard to build a nation? You want to build a renewed hope city? What is the meaning of that? Is it grammar? You are speaking grammar to children. Or they build a renewed hope city. So when you have made that statement, you praise yourself. Oh, you have talked to them. Oh, you go to your cocoon. You tell your mates, how did you find my speech? And all that. Then you put drink wine. And you shake hand. You know, if they don't like my speech, let them go and die. That character, it's a character of people should not who near 10 kilometers from government house. That is what it means. People with this kind of attitude. Otherwise, your city cry to you, you come and tell this kind of bullshit. You know, these are all trash as far as I'm concerned. Building city and all. What does that mean? When you build the city, how do people assess the city you want to build? For example, the one in Delta, where are you going to site it? The city you want to build. But
we are actually talking about the affordability first, because we know that right
before
now...
Before you talk of affordability, you must build something first. Will you talk of affordability without the structure? So it's another way of exploiting the people. Because the contractors, a building that will cost 500,000, it will become a 50 billion. Are you with me? Don't build for us. As it is today, all Nigerians are building for themselves. So make the economy boom for the people. Provide what you're supposed to provide as a government. When I was growing up in Delta in those days, we drink government water along the streets. Water flows. There are street lights everywhere. There are electricity. It's not as if Nigeria should move forward, not backward. We are going backward. So people are already building houses for themselves. You say you build a renewed hope city. What do you mean by renewed hope city? For as far as these are all trash. Tinubu is not serious. Tinubu is not prepared for governance. That lady said it. What is that her name? Lady said he met her in London and he was saying, what do you have for the people? And Tinubu said, I have nothing. Okay, fight the people. Say if you fight the people, say they will kill him. You are afraid to die and you are in public office. What do you do in public office? If you are afraid to die, you shouldn't be in public office. If death is an issue for you, you already how many years now for Tinubu to waka? You will go. Can you avoid death?
Now that one is normal. Everyone
will go. So for you to talk about you having fear of death, that the things you should do, you can't step on toes, you can't do this, and you are in government. If you are afraid of death, if you are afraid of the people holding you to ransom for, you just live a private life. But
we know that so many individuals can actually afford house right now because of the level of inflation. So don't you think that, though we do not know the time frame yet, though the president said something positive, so don't you think that if this comes to a reality, that it will have a way of at least alleviating this hardship in the country?
I have told you, even before now, that my friend who lives in Dubai, the gas he uses in his apartment is supplied by government. Okay. The water he drinks is supplied by government. That house he lives was built by government.
It's not for free now, he's paying for it.
Yes, now. That's what I'm telling you now.
Is it not the same
it's not an issue of propaganda.
But is it not the same thing the president is coming up with?
How many persons, how many presidents have we had in Nigeria that talk about housing projects in this country? Where are the housing projects? So for me, allow the people to live their life. Provide what you should. Nigerian government is too full of propaganda. That's what I don't like to them. Propaganda. Oh, we want to do this. We want to do this. You can't. For me, I align with opinion that what this protest should actually be is that we should occupy the National Assembly. We draw up an electoral reform that we will present to the National Assembly. that if you don't implement this, if you don't pass this,
okay,
if you don't pass this, we will remain here with you. I think I align with that opinion. Because if we do not do such critical thing, these people will continue to take us for granted. In another 4 years, a new set of people will come and rig themselves into power, and they begin to tell us story, and all sort of nonsense. So for me, we need to get our electoral system intact. Once we get that intact, we close out all these kind of unserious men in our government offices. That's the truth of the matter.
All
so
right.
I'm not in tune with this renewed hope.
We still have to talk about it because, of course, everything cannot be completely wrong. Yes, we know that, according to you, that the president has not said anything about the protest. Rather, he's saying a different thing. But maybe this might actually be what Nigerians want, but they do not know because right now things are on high. So my question is, what criteria will be used to allocate housing units in the renewed hope estate to potential residents? Know that, like I said, things are hard. So if they said this thing is for free, almost all the Nigerians will go there. But now they're talking about 1,000 units in all states. And look at the number, the population in a particular state is even more than what the president is talking about. So what are the criteria do you think they will use to be able to allocate these houses?
Well, my people said, you cut the wood that is on top before you cut the one under.
What does that mean, please?
Fine. It means that before Nigerians will begin to scrabble for your 1,000 housing units, they need first, if Nigeria don't leave to that day you will commission that estate, nobody will live in that estate. Nigerians said today we are dying. Reduce cost of governance first. You have not done that. You are talking of renewed hope estate. So give to us what we want first. We are not children. Don't impose on us that which you want to give to us. We have a sense of judgment. This one that we need first, give us this one first. By the time you give us this one, we'll not begin to develop some level of trust in you. That tomorrow, this housing project you are talking about, by the time you build it, Nigeria will be able to access it.
But will you say that these are steps that the president is taking to prevent corruption and ensure transparency, and not just in the execution of this project, but in so many other things in Nigeria? Like this housing stuff.
How does that prevent corruption?
That's what I'm asking you. Do you think it has any way of... it could be a major...
I have mentioned it here. At the end of the day, this housing project, how many billions are you spending? How many out of it, how many billions will go into individual pockets? Can we separate it? We cannot separate it. We don't run the government with a sense, let us build a nation. Nigeria of today, we have come to a level where every man is scavenging. How do I get my own out of this system? How do I get... Because we have looked at it that the government, the people, we are not ready to build a nation. So it has come to the psyche of the Nigerian people that every opportunity you have, put your own in your pocket. Put your own in your pocket. And that is why this country will take very long to develop. Maybe if Nigeria would develop, all of us would have gone very far away. Are you with me? Would have gone very far away. Then maybe our children will not come. The people should be able to say the way we live, is it good at all? The Bible says life unexamined is not worth living.
Okay.
The spiritual man examine all things. Well, our spiritual people in Nigeria, God is speaking to us every day in Nigeria.
Exactly.
And yet we are not examining the life we are living. People are living in corruption, they are not examining it. People are living in immorality, they are not examining it. How? How can we please God?
But do you think if the president put all of these things in place, Nigerians do not change their mindset, that there will still be a better system?
See, changing the mindset of a people is also part of the duty of governor. We have a national orientation agency. What does it do? National Rehabilitation Agency, what does it do? Is it not to address the mindset of the Nigerian people, to build them how to love their country? But you can't leave me to love the country while you yourself, you are stealing from the country. That is the issue now. You should be a... I wrote an article, unfortunately my people refused to publish it, when I talk about the 90 billion given to Muslim pilgrimage to Hajj in Saudi Arabia. I said when 90 billion government donation for pilgrimage, when the government break its own laws. You know, what they say it's too hard, they say it's too harsh. You know, so we have seen a situation where the right to protect the government. We protect the government, protect the government. So that is the pain we are carrying. So,
Mr. Edafe, in all you have explained, are you saying that the people are not, Nigerians, are not satisfied with the President's address?
Oh, God. I never see any Nigerian satisfied with this speech. Because I have told you, first of all, a speech should be able to address the pain of the people. Where in that speech the people was addressed?
There is renewed hope.
Renewed hope. I will not be told there is a renewed hope. Is it today started? The renewed hope break the hardship. Have you another hope? We are talking of another hope after this one. So what we are saying is that once government is able to show some level of honesty in business, so level of sincerity, commitment to doing what is right, and that is what is lacking. Nigerian government has never a time shown its sincerity to doing what is right, and that's the pain of the people.
All right, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We return after the short break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland to hold Nigerian authorities accountable for attacks on journalists covering the end of. In an urgent appraisal, Sarah called for investigation into these attacks, publication of findings, and accountability for perpetrators. They emphasized the need to protect journalists and hold media freedoms, highlighting that Nigerian authorities have failed to safeguard human rights. Sarah also urged the Commonwealth to ensure the protection of journalists and peaceful protesters, stressing that violations against journalists undermine democratic principles and media freedom. All right, it could be recalled that in Calabar some days back, journalists were badly treated in the process of covering the event, and we also had one in Lagos where a policeman also rough handle a journalist. So now the Seraph have called that the Commonwealth really have to do something about this, and also they have to sanction the authorities, Nigerian authorities, over this. So what is your take on this?
Well, it's all about what I have said when I said when a government breaks its own laws. They are all there, even within our constitution, freedom of speech, everything put together, they are all there. Before you talk about the international conventions to which Nigeria is a signatory, they are all there. But we have a people in government, in earnest, those we have in government, just a few exceptions of some of these young men who have come on board. The people we have in government, repeatedly in this country, there are people who should not stay close to government houses, because the relationship between leadership and the people is completely missing. A government should be able to know that without the people, there is no government. Like this young man in Senegal, I don't know whether you have seen his comment recently. He was speaking to all his commissioners, all the parasitors in the country and everybody. He said, don't put my pictures in your offices. I'm not God, that my picture should be in every offices and all that. Let your children, put your children's picture in your offices. So that when you are doing anything wrong, when you are taking any decision, when you see these children that this decision you are taking is going to affect the lives of these children, then you know the kind of decision you should take and the one you should not take. Our leaders, we have this kind of consciousness. We have leaders who want to buy land, who want to build houses, want to buy car, the new limousine, the latest car in Japan, want to have it here in Nigeria on a rough road. I wrote to these road safety people some time ago. Every time you have roadworthy vehicle, do you even ask the question, worthy vehicle, worthy roads? Do you have that question? You will ask that. Every time you want to hold people on the road, this your vehicle is not roadworthy. Is the road worthy of vehicles? Is it not the road that is spoiling the vehicles? So we just have a set of people in Nigeria. We don't want to do things the way other people in the world thinks. We don't have people who think like that in Nigeria. They just sit in office, they just want to show that I'm in office. But without the people, that your office cannot be done. You cannot perform that your duty without the people. But Nigerians, we don't have such consciousness. Only what you want to get from the office, and who you want to punish, who you want to ostracize. But I tell you, whatever belongs to a nation, nobody is more Nigerian. Tinubu is just first among equals. Otherwise, Tinubu is no more Nigerian than myself. Tinubu is a Nigerian, I'm a Nigerian. You are a Nigerian woman.
So why do you think these authorities are actually not respecting journalists? Because the truth is, whatever the decision that these people took, whatever action they took, it was actually deliberated somewhere before they came out to do this. I mean, the first one that happened in Lagos, we were still on it, not even done, before they actually came with vehicles just to carry journalists.
I don't want to narrow it to journalists, because journalists are part of citizen of a country. Your citizen, who do they have respect for in this country? Who does government have respect for in this country? Well, we said government respect the people. Do we have that in Nigeria? So for me, it's just that the international community sometimes sometimes they are not very active in performing some of their roles. Otherwise, there are certain persons they just come and remove from the, and at the end they will say you are encroaching in another man's territory. Otherwise, but when Serap appeal to the international community to respond to this, what would they do? These people, they don't care. They don't mind anything. Anything they do, they don't mind. They say, body they cash on. He wants you to say be journalist. The army man was talking the other day that journalists should not give coverage should not give publicity to the way the thing is going. Who is a military man who has not been able to fight a Boko Haram? Talking to journalists and all that. Because we see a country, anybody who is in office claim that he knows more than everybody in the country. We don't do that. Man your unit. Man your units. We don't do that in Nigeria. You jump here, you jump here, you jump here, and you are failing in your own little area of jurisdiction. You are failing. And you jump here, everybody talk to journalists and all that. Well, is the country we find ourselves. It is so because the Nigerian masses themselves, they are easily bought over. We are easily bought over. We can talk and talk and talk. By the time they say, oh boy, how far now? I have been hearing your voice on radio and all that. I have some package for you. Check your account. There is a 50 million for you there. The next I will say, when you call me, I say, by the way you call me nowadays, you don't. That's the way we live in Nigeria. You understand? That time when I was wearing that shoe that is looking up, okay. that era is past. You know, so I'm going to Abuja. You understand? I want to see my man at Abuja. Maybe by the time I come in the next 3 weeks, then I can maybe find time to see you. That is the attitude of Nigeria. Nobody stand on what is right for the sake of public good. So that's the problem we have. So
is that supposed to? Are you trying to say that as a base on the system that we find ourselves, that despite Serap calling on the Commonwealth to sanction the appropriate authorities for this unnecessary attack on journalists and also protesters, that is a water at the back of hands? In other words, it holds no strength, that nothing will happen about that?
No, the Nigerian mindset is not humble. That's the truth of the matter. Okay. And any man who should be a leader must have a spirit of humility, which is lacking in Nigeria. Even a local government chairman in Nigeria is a hero, is a demagogue. A councillor in Nigeria is a demagogue. So the Nigerian mindset, whosoever is in power, he used office to divide the people, to separate the people. This one insulted me yesterday. This one say one thing the other day. That kind of character should not near government houses. Any man, even if I have issue with you yesterday, the moment I become a public office, I'm not a public to myself. I'm a public man because you are there, because he is there. Exactly. So by the time I begin to say, because the yesterday, therefore, this office now belongs to me, you are not more part of it. We don't do that. It's only primitive people that behave like that way. And that's what we are in Nigeria. We are just primitive men. We are just primitive men. We know how just to produce and nothing more than that. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
So once a man can produce, can have some fleets of pushy women around, there you are a big boy in Nigeria. Are you with me?
That's the definition of a big boy in Nigeria.
Yes, it's part of it too.
Okay, it's part of it.
It's part of it.
But not really the definition.
Yes. True to it. That's the way it is. Because our values are not to do what is right to promote collective good. We do not have such consciousness. How to promote collective good. We use peace to fight who we should fight, who should not fight, and all that. We divide the people. These people are for me, these people are against us. We don't do governance that way. The resources of a state belong to every citizen of that state, whether he vote for you or do not. Look at Starmer in UK. He said, when he was addressing, when he came on board, he said, our government will serve you, especially those of you who did not vote for the Labour Party. Our government will serve you. That's a leader. Everybody will not vote for you.
Exactly.
We have choices. We have rights to make choices. Do you tie me to yourself? If somebody vote for you and I vote for Mr. B, does it mean that I hate you? People must make choice. So when people make choice, do you use that against the community? Then it means you are a primitive man who's supposed not to be in government. So for me, Serap have done what they do, but the Nigerian leaders in government, they will wave it off. I beg you, that will not hold water.
And I'm wondering if the Nigerian authorities did have to wait for Serap to come and call on the Commonwealth to come and do something to sanction Nigerians, like your citizen is being treated badly. Are you not supposed to do something about that? Do you have to wait for, a body come up? That's just a question that, for those of you on the comment section, you can say something about that. And then the last topic for today. Police arrested a midwife and a mother, Happiness, Monday for selling newborns. Following an intelligence tip, police uncovered a building in Rumo Kurushi town used for selling babies. During the raid, they rescued a 17-year-old pregnant girl and Happiness Monday, who had sold a newborn for 400,000 due to poverty. Happiness explained she lacked shelter and support, prompting her to seek the midwife's help in selling her baby. The midwife, Success Igwe, claimed it was her first involvement in such an act, taking 50,000 for delivering charges. A language barrier hindered further details from the teenage girl. Wow, 17 years. We've been talking about hardship, talking about how difficult things are. And we've seen a mother here who sold a newborn baby for 400,000 in the name of trying to foot bills, trying to pay house rent and to survive. Selling children is not looking like a lucrative business. It's not something that a lot of persons are into. But according to what Happiness said, that this is actually her first time in the business. What do you think? And again, I know we were talking about fuel subsidy removal and all of that, and they said this is what is leading to all of these issues that we are having now. And we know that Nigerians' Defense for Human Rights have actually told President Tinubu to bring back subsidy, that we are tired, so that people will stop selling their children, people will stop, committing crimes in the name of trying to survive. People will stop committing suicide. What do you think? I would like you to sum all of them together.
Yes, well, an old man stole bread in Canada.
And the judge asked him, do you know that stealing is an offense? The old man said, I was starving to death. That was why he stole. But stealing is an offense. He said, I fine you $10. But because you cannot pay, I will pay for you. The judge brought $10 from his pocket and paid for the old man. Then the judge proceeded to say that all men sitting in the courtroom, that you have a country where an old man will steal bread before he can eat. All of you here will pay $10 each. And the judge collected $480 and give to the old man. This is a country in Libya, for example. It's not the same oil. I mean, in Libya, get any other thing that Nigeria does not have. In Libya, every citizen have an apartment where they stay. All this billion here, billion there, billion there. Over the year, when you talk about building a society, it's an accumulation of investment from year to year, government to government, government to government. That's how you build society. Not one we just want to build 1,000, and that one you build it half, then your government will go. And then we'll consider that's a nonsense project. How do we live like animals in Nigeria? So what we are saying for this young girl now, I actually did something to one of these agencies here, that we need to address issues of adolescent pregnancy in the Niger Delta, because it's too rampant. Even the World Health Organization talked about it recently. It's worrisome in Niger Delta, adolescent pregnancy. So when you see the young man, the young girl selling her baby for 400,000, they say, I've told you here that the tree that is up, you cut first, before you cut the one down. You want to carry a baby in your hand and you don't have a house to stay with the baby. First of all, let this one go first.
Then where is the person that impregnated her?
That's what we're saying now. Is that the issue? I've told you here, part of the business we have here is
production. We can produce without caring now. You're not part of the business. You are not understanding this thing.
It is part of our pride to produce.
To
yes,
produce.
We know how to, we know how to produce, but not caring. We don't do that here.
And then who told her? Who showed her where who told her that this woman can actually help and sell the baby?
A desperate person can do anything. No. Nobody they show a desperate person the things he should do. You need to know these things. So she must leave. So there's no basis carrying a baby in your hand and you don't have where to stay. So let this one go first. In the next 6 months, you're going to produce another one that you will carry in your hand and stay in that house. It's quite unfortunate that we have a government in Nigeria where young girls are selling their babies, women are selling their babies, and somebody is stealing billion in government.
But Mr. Edafe, you know that if you come to me that you want to sell your baby because you do not have shelter,
yes,
because I haven't done it before,
yes,
and I don't even have that at the back of my mind,
yes,
there's every tendency I won't be able to give it such advice.
yes.
But in a situation that a young girl comes to you, or better say you are the one that carried out the delivery, and then you are telling her how to go about it, it means that you are into this business, right?
It might not be exactly, but you know these people, they have link here and there. They are like middle people.
Okay.
You know, people, some persons who are looking for children, they come to them in case any opportunity like that. But it's unfortunate, women that are very adventurous. Women, yes, so they are very, women strong past men. No, when I say strong, in this area of doing negative things, and when women operate on negative things, they don't look back. It will be difficult for a man to carry his own baby, say they go sell them. But the woman.
But we saw where a man in Calabar sold his 9-year-old son.
I think there were two now.
Not two.
With the woman.
No. I'm talking about a man.
Maybe he has a tutor there. In
other words, it's not about just women.
No, I'm not really particular whether it's just about women.
Okay.
But the kind of hearts
the women have.
Yes, now you know it now. When they do things like this, they don't look back. Otherwise, when you begin to push the pain you pass through and all that, you just give away the child like that for some peanut. That within 2 days you don't finish that money, and that your baby is crying somewhere. You don't care. Easy attitude of woman. They are very strong.
I mean, when you sell your baby for 400,000 because you do not have a shelter, and then you want to pay rent, that's why you sold your baby. After that, what next? If you're saying that you want to sell, in other words, to even do a recruitive business, is a different thing. That means there is something about what you said. That's from happiness. I mean, that's for happiness. Thank you so much, Idafe.
Thank you very much
for having you in the studio this afternoon.
It's my pleasure.
All right,
we need to redeem our country.
We need to.
We need to. All of us need to develop that consciousness that this country is the only country we have in this world.
All right. Of course, that is what we are praying for, and that's why a lot of persons are out there to pour out their grievances on government. All right. This is a much we can take on today's show. Thank you so much, our viewers, for joining us. And if you miss out, you can join us on all media platforms. I am Immaculata Ibrikana. Join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. And all common shows are welcome. You can reach us on all those platforms you see on the screen. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Good afternoon.